Good evening. Namaste. God within me recognizes God within you. Well, oh mercy. Somebody just sent me the URL to yet another Nietzsche on the Spin Team Fantasyland video. Oh, fantasy. Fantasy is amazing. So I thought I would just clear up a few mistaken notions, a few. So let's start with Christianity. According to Miss Spin Team, Christian God is male, all male energy. Well, okay, let's look at this, okay? Energy is not male, okay? There's not male energy and female energy. Energy is non-specific. It's not male nor is it female, okay? Yes, there is the triune God, okay? They say the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Now, the Father is not some deity sitting on a throne somewhere that's male. Okay, you could say Father, Mother, God, but it's actually beyond any identifications. Okay, so again, there's only one God in the universe. Hello, spin team here. There's only one. Okay, when you go beyond identification, that grand is singular. Okay. So again, to make it there's a difference between Christian God and the Hindu God. It's a different thing. It's a totally different thing. I don't care what you call it. There's only one behind the scenes that holds the universe in its wake, okay? And that energy is not male in Christianity and female if it happens to be Hinduism, okay? So let's get beyond that, okay? And this idea that women have no place in a Christianity, just because you were Catholic and women were not priests there, doesn't mean that women don't have a place in Christianity. Hello? There are many women ministers in Christianity, okay? Now let's go on to this other misnomer and mistaken notion that Miss Fantasyland has over there about how in America, in the West, when people get married, the women are there to obey, till death do us part. And in Hinduism, they don't have that. They're equals there. We're all going forward to realization together. Well, there's nothing in any Hindu marriage that says they're going to realization together. And in fact, if you actually had been around genuine Hindu marriages, you would find out the women are the most repressed in any society. Do you not understand what happens in a Hindu household? The women have to take care of the husband's family. They're told what they can wear, where they can go. They're not allowed to go out unless they have a brother or a husband with them. Okay. They have to wear coverings. Their ankles have to be covered. Okay. They cook the dinner. Do you know that they serve the men and the men eat by themselves? And they serve the parents, then they serve the children, and if there is any food left, then they get to eat. Oh yes, I know, Hinduism, it's so much better for the women there. That's why they have so many more rapes going now and so many bride burnings because of dowries. They didn't get enough dowry, not enough money was paid to the husband to take the bride. Okay? And Lord knows, that that's so much of a better system than is in the West. Just burn them, it's okay. Because they put them on pedestals. Women there are, they're honored in India. That's why when, the husband dies, they throw, and when the women get older, they throw them out of the house, okay, into the street to go beg, because they're so honored in India, okay? So, please come off your high horse and let's get a clue. Did you know that the Sankacharya of Kanchipuram that just passed was still recommending sati? Do you know that? So when have the Moguls been invading lately? Do you know in the small villages they still pressure women to do sati? Where are those Mogul invaders? Oh, the only reason they had sati was because Mogul invaders had killed their husband, and then they were so pious they wanted to jump on there to be with their husbands so they weren't raped and mistreated by these invaders. Well, there are no invaders, and there haven't been for hundreds of years, and they're still practicing sati in villages. So if you're going to sit there and spin Hinduism, let's understand what's culturally there, what's actually there, and quit making it this fantasy land that you have constructed. Okay? Nothing makes me more upset than people that construct some fantasy notion as if it were reality. Okay? Please. I lived there for many years. I know exactly what's there, what the cultural dynamic is. Okay? But you have much more freedom in the West to follow religious, to follow to the path to realization than you do in India. Okay? Just because there's Shakti, just like they honor the cow there. They worship the cow. They ask the cow for blessings. And then in front of the Krishna ashrams, what are they doing? Beating the frick out of the cows so they don't defecate in front of the ashram doors. And then the next second, oh cow, oh mother cow, please give me blessings. Bow! Yeah, okay, please. Please. Let's be honest about what's there, okay? Let's be honest, okay? So yeah, there's a lot of mistaken notions. But again, this idea that God in India, and that Nityananda, even though he's a Shaivite, he's actually a worshiper of Shakti behind the scenes. He's pretending to be a Shaivite, but he really is a follower of Goddess. Okay. Yeah, he's a liar. If he's actually a follower of Shakti, he should be teaching that type of a path. So what's he doing deluding people then? Again, think about it. Okay. So again, all of your fantasy notions about energy, and then the God of the West is male. You don't know about energy. You don't know, you haven't seen that. Nobody sees the face of the Father and lives. Do you have that saying that when God passed, they hid in the cliff because those that see the face of the Father will die? You know why that is? Because it's the end of persona, it's the end of illusion, it's the end of delusion, it's the end of Maya. Okay? Because God is spirit. It's that primal is. And there's only one in the universe, not many. How many gods do you think created the universe? There's only one power behind it, and I don't give a rat's ass what name you put on it. Okay? There's only one. Okay? That primal is. That pregnant void. That light beyond lights. Okay? So it doesn't matter if you want to call it Pada Brahman, You want to call it Shiva, you want to call it Shakti, you want to call it God, you want to call it Adonai. Doesn't matter what name you want to call it. There's only one, and energy is neutral until it comes into existence and you put a spin on it. Okay? So I just wanted to clear up some of these mistaken notions that are being putting out there by Fantasyland. You would think if you're going over there that you're going to a spiritual Disneyland, rather than actually what it is. People there at night screaming and yelling all night, nobody's sleeping and being pressured to follow groupthink. Okay? Oh, and I did the cards for her. She's going along with the flow and really thinks she's protecting him and has some power. Okay? And she's following this delusion, you know, and absolutely, unfortunately, being fed these stories and buys them hook, line, and sinker. Okay? But really, rape is on the rise in India. Women are not respected. Okay? Women get married and they're expected to take care of the parents. They live with the boy. They live with the boy's parents. They are there to have children and to take care of the parents. Okay? It's not a marriage out of love. It's a marriage out of duty. They have their duty and their husband has their duty. Okay? But it's one of the most repressive societies ever for women. So don't make it sound like some fantasy land. And I've had students before, I want to go to India because they worship women there. They put them on a pedestal. Sure they do. Okay? Go and see the reality. See how many baby girls get thrown in the Ganges the moment they're born, or get abandoned because they have no worth. That's how they worship women and Shakti there. That's how they worship it. You have a girl and they raise it for another family. So the only thing that has value are boys because they stay with the family and take care of the parents later. That's their view. Why should we have a girl? We don't want a girl because we have to raise it for another family. They go away. Okay? Get a reality check on what's there versus this fantasy spin and story, fairy tale story that you want to put out. That sounds so good, but really bears no resemblance to the reality as to what is there now. Okay? So I'm going to leave this here. But again, reminder, there's only one eternal God, and I don't care what name you want to put on it. It's a spirit. Okay? It's a spirit. God is a spirit. Okay? God is not sitting up there on a throne. Okay? God is spirit. Okay? Unless you have the coming into form like Christ, and he was a combination of form and spirit, okay? You must be born of water and the spirit, okay? Do you get it? Okay? In order to go forward, must be born of water and the spirit, okay? You have to make the journey, okay? To have a little understanding rather than these fantasy notions which are so off the wall, so misunderstood. And so I hate to have to make these type of videos where where I have to clear the air because one gets in such a spin and has no idea what they're talking about and wants to make it seem like a fantasy fairy tale place. And that's what they're talking about, a fantasy fairy tale, because it bears no resemblance to what's actually going on in India now, culturally, when it comes to society, women, Shakti, those energies and powers, okay? Maybe one of these days I'll talk a little bit more on Tantra, Khajuraho, the meaning of the temples that are, again, so misunderstood and so just really misunderstood, okay? So I'll close this out here. Namaste. Everyone have a wonderful day. I hope this has helped to clear the air to some degree from the fallacies running around out there in fantasy land.